before they kill us. They will kill us.
People want to fight.
They fought very hard in the games, Miss Everdeen. They were games. Like to be in a real war. Imagine thousands of your people dead.
When we return to the world of Panem in the Hunger Games catching fire, the stakes are immediately higher and the tension more palpable than ever before. The story picks up after the shocking events of the first Hunger Games, where Katniss Everdeen's defiance in the arena made her a symbol of hope and rebellion for the districts. That very act of bravery, however, draws the attention of the Capitol and its ruthless leader, President Snow. He recognizes the threat Katniss poses, not just to his control over Panem, but to the carefully maintained illusion of peace and obedience that the Hunger Games are designed to enforce. Snow understands that her influence has already begun to inspire unrest, and he knows that if it isn't quelled, it could ignite a revolution that no amount of propaganda or intimidation can contain. In the aftermath of her victory, Katniss returns home to District 12, but there is no true peace. The Capitol's shadow looms over her life, and the streets that once felt familiar now seem alien under the weight of surveillance and manipulation. As the face of the rebellion, she must navigate the complicated web of public appearances, interviews, and political maneuvering, all while maintaining a fragile personal life with Peeta Mellark, who is as loyal as he is vulnerable. Their relationship is put under intense scrutiny, both by the Capitol and by the districts, forcing them to perform a love story for the cameras, a performance designed to distract, appease, and control. Every smile, every gesture, and every word is a calculated measure in a dangerous game where missteps could mean death. The story escalates when President Snow confronts Katniss directly, making it clear that her role as a symbol cannot continue unchecked. He warns her that her defiance has sparked hope in the districts, and hope, as he coldly reminds her, is dangerous. Snow's words are chilling, not just because of what he says, but because of the quiet menace behind them. He intends to eliminate Katniss before her influence can grow further. To achieve this, he concocts a plan that is as ruthless as it is cunning, one that will use the very institution of the Hunger Games against her. He informs her that the next games will be unlike any before, a special edition called the Quarter Quell, designed to punish the districts while asserting the Capitol's dominance. Unlike previous games, this one will feature a twist that directly targets her. The tribute pool will consist of only past victors, ensuring that she faces the most skilled, dangerous, and lethal competitors from the past. The message is clear: survival is no longer guaranteed, and the stakes have never been higher. Katniss must grapple with the reality that the rules have changed in ways that are terrifyingly personal. Every decision she has made, every action she has taken to protect herself and others has led to this point. The Quarter Quell is both a spectacle and a death sentence, crafted by the Capitol to remind the districts of their powerlessness, while simultaneously testing Katniss in ways that push her to her physical and emotional limits. It is a tournament that forces her to confront not only external threats, but also the internal conflict between self-preservation and the moral imperative that defines her heroism. The narrative skillfully captures this tension, portraying Katniss as a character caught between her instinct for survival and the moral imperative that defines her heroism. As the story unfolds, we witness the preparation for the Quarter Quell, which is infused with a heightened sense of dread and inevitability. The Capitol's extravagance and opulence are on full display, a stark contrast to the suffering and oppression in the districts. Every visual detail reinforces the imbalance of power: the gleaming arenas, the luxurious clothing, and the meticulous control over every aspect of the games. Yet within this grandeur, there is a pervading sense of danger, a reminder that the spectacle is a veneer over the Capitol's cruelty. Katniss, alongside Peeta and other past victors, must navigate this world of artificial beauty and concealed menace, understanding that survival requires not only physical prowess, but also strategic intelligence and psychological resilience. The introduction of familiar faces from previous games adds layers of tension and complexity. These returning victors, each with their own scars, skills, and motives, bring both camaraderie and competition. Characters like Finnick Odair, Johanna Mason, and Beatty Latier emerge as critical allies, each offering unique skills and perspectives that challenge and complement Katniss's own abilities. The narrative explores their personalities with depth, showing that victory comes at a cost and that alliances in the arena are often fragile and tentative. Their backstories and experiences add richness to the narrative, providing context to the brutality of the games and the psychological toll of survival. Once the Quarter Quell begins, the arena itself becomes a character, meticulously designed to test every aspect of the tribute's capabilities. Its dangers are both immediate and insidious, deadly obstacles, unpredictable environments, and strategically placed threats that push each competitor to the edge of endurance. The writing conveys a sense of constant peril, keeping the audience on edge as they witness the tribute's struggles and triumphs. Katniss's resourcefulness and determination are foregrounded, highlighting her growth from the first games and her increasing ability to think tactically under pressure. Her interactions with other victors reveal the strategic depth required to navigate this brutal competition, where alliances can shift in a heartbeat and trust is a rare commodity. Throughout the games, the narrative skillfully weaves moments of suspense with character development. Katniss is portrayed not just as a survivor, but as someone who constantly evaluates risks, anticipates threats, and makes decisions with far-reaching consequences. Her relationship with Peeta becomes even more central as they navigate the dual pressures of survival and the expectation to maintain their public personas. The interplay between genuine emotion and performative strategy adds complexity to their bond, revealing the depth of their connection while underscoring the ever-present danger that surrounds them. Themes of power, rebellion, and the human cost of oppression permeate the story. The Capitol's manipulation and control are depicted with chilling precision, showing how spectacle and fear are used to maintain dominance. At the same time, the story highlights the spark of resistance that emerges even in the most controlled environments. Katniss embodies that resistance. Her actions inspire others to question the status quo and assert their agency. The narrative does not shy away from the moral ambiguity and ethical dilemmas that arise in such a world, exploring how individuals navigate choices in situations where every option carries risk. Visually, the film amplifies these themes through its cinematography and production design. The stark contrast between the capital and the districts, the meticulous construction of the arena, and the use of lighting and color to evoke mood all serve to immerse the audience in Panem's world. Action sequences are choreographed with precision, combining intensity with clarity to ensure that the stakes of every confrontation are felt. At the same time, quieter moments of reflection, strategy, and human connection provide emotional depth, balancing the spectacle with intimacy and resonance. The tension escalates as alliances shift and the arena's challenges intensify. Katniss's ingenuity is tested repeatedly, from navigating deadly traps to interpreting subtle signals from allies. The narrative captures the constant psychological strain of the games, portraying how fear, hope, and desperation coexist in every decision. Moments of triumph are juxtaposed with loss, emphasizing the fragility of life in this world and the heavy burden of survival. Katniss's leadership qualities emerge more prominently here, as she becomes a focal point for both strategy and inspiration, guiding others while grappling with her own doubts and fears. Amid the chaos of the arena, the story also deepens its exploration of loyalty and morality. Decisions about who to trust, how to protect oneself and others, and when to take risks become central to the narrative. The moral complexity of these choices adds layers to the tension, demonstrating that victory is not solely about physical skill, but also about navigating the intricate web of human behavior under extreme pressure. Katniss's internal struggles, juxtaposed with the external dangers of the games, create a compelling psychological portrait of a character caught between duty, survival, and conscience. The climax of the Quarter Quell is both dramatic and transformative. The arena's dangers converge in a series of high-stakes confrontations where strategy, courage, and alliance play decisive roles. Katniss's resourcefulness and leadership become essential to the outcome, as she not only seeks to survive, but also works to protect key allies and preserve the possibility of resistance beyond the arena. The narrative builds toward a resolution that is satisfying in its suspense, while leaving room for broader consequences, signaling that the story of rebellion and change is far from over. Ultimately, Catching Fire is more than a continuation of a thrilling saga. It is a deeper exploration of the themes of power, control, and resistance. The narrative highlights the costs of survival, the importance of strategic thinking, and the ways in which individuals can inspire change, even under the most oppressive circumstances. Katniss's journey in this installment cements her as a symbol of defiance and hope, her actions rippling outward to affect not only the lives of those in the arena, but also the broader trajectory of Panem itself. Every decision, every risk, and every alliance underscores the complexity of a world where the boundaries between right and wrong are constantly tested, and where the fight for survival is inseparable from the fight for justice. The story leaves audiences with a profound sense of anticipation and inevitability. The events of the Quarter Quell are not isolated. They are part of a larger narrative arc that will challenge characters, shift alliances, and escalate the struggle between the capital and the districts. Katniss's transformation from a reluctant participant to a proactive symbol of rebellion is both compelling and resonant, highlighting the power of individual action to challenge systemic oppression. The tension between spectacle and reality, control and resistance, and fear and courage permeates every scene, ensuring that the story is as intellectually engaging as it is visually thrilling. In the end, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire masterfully balances action, character development, and thematic depth. It takes the familiar framework of the games and expands it into a complex exploration of morality, strategy, and human resilience. Katniss's experiences in this installment reinforce the narrative's central question: what does it mean to survive in a world designed to crush hope? And how can one maintain humanity while navigating extreme adversity? By the conclusion, audiences are left not only exhilarated by the spectacle, but also deeply invested in the ongoing struggle of a heroine whose courage and ingenuity continue to challenge the very foundations of a totalitarian society.